Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. As you can see, the weather's pretty nasty here, but I've been cooped up in the house for the last 2 days. I can't do any of the outdoor work that I've been wanting to do because of the rain, and it's making me a little stir crazy, so I've decided to go out for a short hike, even though it's raining, to test out some gear, to check out a new area, and to make a new video. So we're gonna go to the Eva Meng Wildlife Preserve out in Schwenksville, PA. There is a 60% chance of it raining for the next 3 hours, so it's probably gonna be a wet one, and I'm not sure how much I'll be able to actually record, but we're gonna give it a shot. So let's go check it out. Alright, so this is what I'm talking about. This is beautiful, and it is out in the middle of nowhere. I got lost 3 times because I kept missing turns because they're tiny little roads out in the middle of nowhere. But this is just beautiful. So, the Eva Meng Preserve is part of the Natural Lands Trust. You might remember my first encounter with the Natural Lands Trust was when I made it out to Gwinnett Preserve a couple of weeks ago. A lot of those trails seem to have limited representation on all trails. So if you're looking for some new trails, I would also download the Natural Lands Trust app, and that's going to help you find trails in your area. So this is new to the Natural Lands Trust as of 2019. Before that, it was part of the Audubon Wildlife Society. They held it for a number of years, and before that, it was held wild for the local Girl Scout troop. So this area has been protected for quite a while. I'm already seeing there's a woodpecker. I don't know if you can see it. No, you're not going to be able to see it. On that tree right there, in amongst all the poison ivy. so there's, it looks like there's going to be a lot to see here, so I'm really excited to get out there. So let's go hiking. So when I picked this trail to walk today, I wanted something relatively short and not too difficult, because I'm still in recovery after my fall. And for anybody who's worried, I didn't take very much severe damage, although it looked horrific. My entire leg bruised up, and that bruising is now all drained down into my foot, so it looks like I broke my ankle. But I got it x-rayed, nothing's broken, it's just a great big contusion. But I wanted to take it easy and not work it too hard today. So what did I do? I picked the rockiest section of the trail with the most elevation gain. So good job me. Hi. A lot of the trees in this area are tulip, I believe they're called tulip locusts. And you can kind of see why they're called that from the shape of their leaves. They're kind of tulipy shaped. And then the flowers are also kind of sort of tulipy shaped. So they're really beautiful, and they're making the whole woods smell magnificent. And look, more rocks. We must still be in Pennsylvania. So I know I complain about the rocks in Pennsylvania quite a bit. And some of you may be wondering, well, why do so many of the paths in Pennsylvania go over rocks? Can't they make the trails around the rocks? And there are two answers to that. Answer one is, no, they can't. This part of Pennsylvania was kind of the leading edge of the ice ages. At least that's my understanding. I'm not a geologist, but I've been to a lot of National Park Service presentations on the subject. And because this is kind of where the edge of the ice sheet was, all the rocks and boulders and everything, all the detritus that the ice picked up as it was moving south just kind of got dumped here when the ice sheet started retreating. So that's why you see all of this just littered around the landscape. And I'll have to take you up to Archibald Pothole sometime so we can have a different conversation about that. But anyway, the other answer is no, they don't want to. They want the trails to go over the rocks because, especially depending on the trail and the volume of foot traffic they expect, by making hikers go over the rocks, it actually helps prevent erosion. And that's why they ask you when you're out hiking, don't make your own paths around the rocks or around other deadfall and things like that, if you can avoid it. Because anytime you're stepping on the plants in the edges here, you're weakening the hold of the root systems on the soil, and then when it rains like it's doing today, it washes that dirt away and weakens the environment. So I will continue to complain about having to walk over the rocks, but there are multiple good reasons for it, especially on a day like today. Well, not really on a day like today. I'm trying to avoid the rocks as much as I can because I'm really worried about slipping on them. But I'm not going to jinx myself by saying the worst of the rocks are over, but I know I'm heading into what's called the wetlands. So hopefully it'll be a little more low-key. Let's go see. So when I came out, I said I was testing 2 new pieces of gear. One of them is this hat. I got this in one of my subscription boxes. It supports the Parks Project, which helps give money to the national parks, which I support 100%. And it's getting a little too warm to be wearing my derby when I'm out hiking. So I need to find something new. And I thought, well, let me try this hat out. And it's a really nice hat. It's sturdy and holds up really well. It's doing a pretty good job of keeping my head dry and my glasses dry. But it's still pretty warm. And it doesn't work well with the hood on my raincoat. So it doesn't let the top of it come down far enough forward. So I think I'm probably going to end up having to try and find a ball cap, an interesting ball cap that I like. Mom said, why do you need a hat at all? Because it rains and I need to keep the rain off my glasses. So the other thing I'm testing out is this. Ooh, I don't know if I can get the angle right. This rain skirt that my friend Andrea made for me. Thank you very much, Andrea. I'm not a big fan of rain pants. It gets really warm and they're hard to vent and it's just a pain. So I had seen some of these rain skirts online and I tried them, but they aren't made for women with hips. So I was talking to Andrea about it and she said, oh, I could probably make something. I'm like, okay, let's make something. And she did, and this is great. It stays in place. It covers everything down to my knees. I think in better weather, if I was wearing shorts, it would be even better. But it's working great today. I have to pack it up a little differently. It was real wrinkled when I started out, but most of the wrinkles have shaken out while I've been out hiking. So we're 1 and 1 on my new equipment test. I've also been incredibly precious about my boots going through the marshlands, which is stupid because they're waterproof boots. That's why you got these boots in the first place, Stephanie, you ding dong. Just go through the water. All right, I think we're on the last section of trail. Let's go see what it's got. So, as always, made it back to the car. That was a nice hike. According to All Trails, which actually got my GPS right, I did almost exactly 2 miles. Although it's saying for the elevation that I did 3,000 feet of elevation gain, which there's no way I did that much. I think I did maybe 300. I highly recommend this trail. As always, I'm too early for the wildflowers, so we'll see when I come back out here. But there's a lot of different ways you can put these trails together to make it a little longer, a little shorter. It's just, I thought I was going to be the only one out here, but we had one car just leave, and I saw a family coming in as I was coming out, so it's pretty private. Of course, the weather's probably contributing to that. So that's it for this week. There may be some bonus content. Like I said earlier, we're going to the beach tomorrow. We're going to go down to Astig Island and maybe see the ponies and maybe go for a hike. We'll see what happens. And then next weekend, I'm doing something. I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know who I'm doing it with. But we will see what happens. All right, you guys have a great week. I will see you next time. Bye.